Good morning and welcome to the daily weather operations brief. Starting off today, seeing some mid and upper level clouds streaming in across the area as we do have a surface trough pushing through the region. We also have some light westerly winds as of current, expecting those to be somewhat variable in these early morning hours and then turning southwesterly as we get moving through the day today. Could see winds gusting up into the mid to low teens at times. And as for our humidity, we're going to see that on a downwards decline or a downwards trend as we have high pressure moving in overhead. Now, taking a look at the current radar out there, we do remain free of any reflectivity, at least in the immediate area here. And we're going to anticipate that being the case for a majority of the day. We might have a very slight chance of seeing some passing showers, but that will be in the early morning hours of tomorrow. And as we take a look at this morning surface analysis chart here, we do see that dry frontal boundary that has moved through the area and brought in that cloud cover. And we can see, denoted by these H's moving in, we have high pressure building in on the backside. As a result, going to see that those seasonably warm temperatures moving in across the region. Expecting these dry conditions to stick around for the remainder of the day and into and through Wednesday. Again, the only minor exception being that very low end chance of seeing a passing shower early tomorrow morning. And then overall, should be a very nice and comfortable start to the week with lowered humidity values, and again, expecting those to continue until high pressure begins drifting offshore come Wednesday. We'll see those humidity values start inching upwards around that time. Touching on the current weather observations out there, seeing clouds, a few at 12,000 and a scattered layer at 25,000 feet. We have 6 statute miles of visibility due to some haze in the area, and our winds are variable at about 6 knots with a temperature of 75 degrees and a relative humidity of 87%. And if we take a look at the satellite imagery from this morning, we can somewhat make out that boundary that's pushing offshore right now. That is bringing the cloud cover that we're seeing here this morning. And on the backside, should see mostly clear skies. We'll have scattered cloud cover as we move through the afternoon. And then once we move into the evening hours and early morning hours, we'll have that cloud cover building in. Which on the models here, we do look to remain dry. It does have some slight mottled reflectivity across the region, but overall, the large trend being a lack of precipitation for the day as high pressure is in control, and we'll anticipate that being the case for tomorrow as well. But as we move on to the 24-hour outlook ahead, seeing green conditions across the board, partly cloudy skies to start through the working hours of the day today, see an upward trend as we move into the early hours of tomorrow morning. Temperatures climbing into the low to mid 80s this afternoon with decreasing relative humidity, making for a nice, comfortable afternoon. And then for our winds, starting off light and variable, turning southwesterly 5 to 10 knots, gusting into the teens at times, and then we'll see those winds die back down in the overnight hours, and by early tomorrow morning, northeasterly winds light at 3 to 8 knots. Again, and largely looking at a time frame of 3 to 4 in the morning and after, seeing some very slight chances of early morning showers, but other than that, nothing to make note of. And to wrap us up for the early morning weather brief here on Tuesday, partly cloudy, a high of 82, greens across the board. Similarly, we're going to see mostly clear conditions by nighttime, a low around 66, and Wednesday continuing with those greens across the board, partly cloudy and a little warmer, a high of around 84 degrees. That's going to conclude the daily weather operations brief. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Monday morning, and we'll be back at 10 o'clock with the 7-day outlook.